Local conversation. You're listening to AM Beaver County on 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and 1460 WMBA. Presented by St. Barnabas and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
And we're back on AM Beaver County on this Thursday morning, and now joining me live in studio from Neighborhood North Museum of Play is Christine Kroger. And Christine, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. And of course, we're here today to talk about an event that you guys are doing on Saturday. And what is that event?
Yeah, it's a community play day. It was just inspired by our recent event with the car cruise. We opened our parking lot and our event venue to the community free of charge, and we had a great response. And it was just a really fun time to see a lot of community members and families out there. And we thought, hey, let's do it again. So it's just a day we're opening the museum free of charge to anyone who wants to come, and we'll have outdoor activities and indoor activities, and just inviting the community to come and check it out if you haven't been, and if you have, come back.
So you mentioned some of the activities that are going to be there, and of course you've done this already with the car cruise, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
What are some of the activities that are going to be available for those to participate in?
Yeah, so it's pretty low key, just families to come and enjoy one another's company and play with their kids. But so some basic lawn games outside. We love our big bubbles, and we'll have our some of our exhibits outdoors to enjoy with some water, because it's going to be pretty hot.
Yeah, it is going to be really hot.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to have some water games outdoors, and then. And kids are really creative with those too, so it's fun to see how they do that. We'll also have some outdoor art activities. And then inside we'll have our basic exhibits that people can explore. And like I said, it's a good time to check out our museum if you haven't been, because it'll be free of charge that day. So you can pop in for a few minutes or a few hours. And we'll also have some activities in our maker space as well, some art activities.
I love the fact that you said, like the kids are getting creative with some of these games. Like they take what the materials that are given to them and then just sort of come up with their own thing. Because that's kind of what Neighborhood North is all about, sort of, give kids the tools to let kids be kids.
Right. Well, and so at the car cruise, one of our favorite things was, we had some water sponges there, and we had an idea of what we thought kids might do with them, and they actually cleaned our windows. So, that was really fun, but they loved that. And they had a great time doing multiple different things with it, and playing for a long time. I would say parents thought like, oh, we'll be here for a half hour, and they were there for 2 hours. And the kids were just playing different iterations of imaginative play, and with multiple different stations that we had set up. And I think they didn't run out of things to do with each other and with the different adults who were there. And it was really, really good to see.
How involved do the adults get whenever helping their kids play, or do the kids just sort of have free reign?
I think it depends on the age of the child, but really we saw a lot of adults really interacting with the kids. We had a bubble making station that were making giant bubbles. And I think that's fun and fascinating. And so we had the kids had the ability to make their own. And so adults got pretty engaged with kids that way. But we also have stations that allow kids to interact by themselves, so that parents can talk with each other and visit. But then also parents can get engaged with the kids as well too. So I think you have both, a variety of different ways of being involved, and also allowing kids to just explore on their own.
Now, of course, with school being out for the summer, and we're in the dead of July, heading in August, and things are sort of getting back towards that school mentality. But I imagine the summer's been pretty busy for you guys.
Yeah, the summer has been really fabulously busy. So it's been, we really appreciate the support of the community and the surrounding communities. We've had 9 camps running this summer, so we're almost, I think we're 3/4 of the way through, and we've been really busy with the camps, but also with people coming to visit and just play and enjoy the space. And we've noticed groups of parents coming and being with their kids there together. So it's been great to see that.
And being the executive director of Neighborhood North, what are some of the things you've been noticing, like as far as being, things that are improving, things you'd like to see improve, and what are some of those?
That's a great question. So I think one of the things I'm really excited about right now is that we're in the process of working to bring in some new exhibits. So wanting to keep things fresh all the time, and mostly wanting to design to universal design standards so that everyone can be part of the play on an equal basis, so that it's accessible to everybody, and also that we're making sure that all our very youngest visitors are able to engage and play as well. So we're bringing in about 3 new exhibits this coming year, hopefully in the fall, and then we're designing one ourselves, and we're really excited about that. And so I can't wait to reveal those things. So one's going to be math. One's going to be focused on teaching some math skills, and it's not that it's really in a fun way, obviously, because it's through play.
Right.
And then a couple others are we'll just yeah. I'm not going to tell anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil it.
I know. I'm super excited though, but we'll be releasing those soon. And then we've been talking about the playful learning landscapes. We had that grant from New Sun Rising in the arts. Reimagine grant this past year, and we're actually in the process of fabricating those now, and they'll be out in the community. So you'll be seeing one at the soccer field over by the high school, and then one at the 2nd Avenue playground. And we're just really excited about those coming to fruition. So those are museum exhibits that'll be out in the community. So you don't actually have to come to our museum in order to be able to get to benefit from it. It's just kind of connecting, I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's expanding sort of it's sort of a two-way thing. On the one hand, those who don't know about Neighborhood North can get to experience some of what you guys are doing. Yeah. And at the same time, you're allowing for other areas of the community to engage in the types of activities that you provide. Yeah.
And it's marrying, I think, what the community is doing, right? Which is creating beautiful spaces, and also with the science of how kids learn too. So we're kind of combining those two things and working well with our community too. So yeah.
And then the staff, I take it, is still very because I know we've heard so much about like staff being short in other areas of is that the case in Neighborhood North, or is the staff pretty much steady?
Yeah, the staff has been steady. We have a couple of people who have been, off and stuff, but we've been able to fill in with some really good folks. We've been really blessed by that. So we have amazing staff, and we're really steady. So
we're talking with Christine Kroger from Neighborhood North Museum of Play, located on 8th Avenue in Beaver Falls. Again, their community play day is that's the proper title, right?
That's the proper, community play day. So we have one this coming Saturday, and then we also have another one on August 20th. So I know that's a big day for the community as well. The Business District Authority is having a day that an event that day as well. So we'll try to connect with that as well.
That's right. That's right. So it seems like that day is going to be sort of like a mini. Like it's almost gonna be a car cruise without the cars, essentially, because the whole city's gonna be involved with it.
Right.
But that is cool. That is cool, and it is great to hear that. You guys have had so much success in your first official year, because that I've been hearing so much throughout the year from mayors and leaders about giving the kids something to do. Making sure kids can be kids. And Neighborhood North for Beaver Falls is starting to do exactly that. And I should reiterate, I know we've talked about this in times past, it's not, even though it's located in Beaver Falls, it's not just for Beaver Falls.
That's correct. Yeah, no, we're not just for Beaver Falls, and we've had folks coming from all over the place in Beaver County, but also outside of Beaver County as well. So we think that's really important for who we are as an organization, but also who Beaver Falls is as a city, and a city that's on the verge of growing really, really quickly. So yeah.
And on top of that, you have all these events that are coming up, and you have all this space to work with, and of course there's been talk about you guys moving a couple blocks down to the old Tribune. How's that process been going?
That process is going really well. We're working with our architect to design some schematics. We can't wait to release that. We're going to be having an innovation corridor. I know we're rebranding right now, but we're having an event on October 1st, so we'll be releasing information about that, so folks can come into the space and kind of get to see it and envision it a little bit. But it's going well. So we'll be raising funds for that in the coming year.
Now, this Saturday's event, for those who are sort of thinking, "Oh, I'd like to be a part of that," what are the basics as far as like time and how many people can be there, stuff like that?
Yeah. So time is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And because it's indoor and outdoor, we don't really have as many people who want to come can come.
Right. Just don't spill onto the street. There's gonna be cars there.
There will be cars there. It won't be closed off like the car cruise. But you're welcome to come, and no tickets required. Just come and enjoy.
And obviously it's for parents and kids, but what's sort of the age range of the kids that are sort of expected here?
Yeah, so our target age is always, we say 10 months to 10 years. And our sweet spot is really the 2-year-olds to 5-year-olds really enjoy our exhibits the best, but all the way up to 8-year-olds really tend to enjoy it. We had teens there last time, and they had a great time. So really, I would say bring your whole family. Yeah.
And do you see, because I know sometimes whenever it comes to, exhibits and, getting kids to play, that sometimes, a teenager or somebody in the community will help out with that. How do you see like a strong harmony between like the sort of the generational gap where, these younger people who are like, I was, 5 once, I kind of understand what's going on here. When you see like a 14-year-old helping a 5-year-old, you sort of, get to play along. Do you see like a strong harmony there, a strong connection there?
No, absolutely. When we have families, especially coming with multiple age groups, the older kids tend to relive their childhood, as they say. But I sometimes think they're having a lot more fun. Especially we have giant Legos there, the large imagination playground blocks, and so there's a lot of scaffolded learning happening. Especially you see I love to see is some kids who are really strong, maybe in an engineering field, maybe not as strong in reading or something like that. They can really use their skills. And when you're teaching somebody, you're actually learning more, right? And then the younger kids are much more engaged that way. It's really beautiful kind of learning and collaborative play and different things that are happening in that space that doesn't happen outside of those kind of creative play spaces. So yeah, there's a lot of good things happening that you see happen in a family, right? So we really definitely appreciate that. Sometimes we have a gear wall where kids can try to figure out how to make a ball go from one end to the other, and they have to use these PVC pipes that have been created. Okay. And there's different barriers that prevent it from happening, and so you can see kids sometimes get a little frustrated, but an older kid will come over and help and work with them, and sometimes they'll accept that help more readily from an older peer than an adult. So not that an adult can't help, but sometimes just that learning happens, that conversation is really beautiful and engaging. So yeah.
That is beautiful because it does sort of, I mean, again, like you said, an adult doesn't have to, sort of stay away from that. They can help out. But at the same time, there's something, there's that general feeling of acceptance whenever somebody that's just a little bit older than you helps you out, as opposed to much older than you. Because, when somebody's much older than you, it's like, okay, well, they're just sort of doing this for me. Whereas if somebody's younger company, he's like, oh no, they're trying to help me out. It's a weird dynamic, but it's a dynamic that works. Right.
And the adults coming in and helping too is great as well. So there's room for all of it to happen. But yeah, there's been really really good and fun stuff that we've been witnessing and experiencing. In the space and that we're learning about too, right? As far as like when we're creating new exhibits, then saying like, oh, these are really good things that kind of promote this type of interaction between parents, and like what's the role then, and like and those different kinds of things. So yeah, it's been a great learning experience for us the past couple of years, and also just a joy.
Yeah,
we feel privileged.
Yeah, and on top of that, you get to see all these kids learning. You get to see them sort of adapt to their environment, and also the counter of you guys sort of adapting to their environment, because kids change all the time.
Right.
You never know what a group of kids are going to like until you sort of experiment with it. So sort of have that open flowing mind is essential to what you guys are doing. We are just about out of time, Christine, but I thank you for coming on this morning to talk about the Community Play Day, Saturday from 10 till 2 up on 8th Avenue in Beaver Falls. And if anybody wants any more information about that, how can they get a hold of you?
So our website's always a great way. All our information is on there, so neighborhoodnorth.com, or feel free to email me at christine@neighborhoodnorth.com, and I'm happy to talk to you.
And the links to all that is up on the website as well.
Everything's on there, yep.
Awesome. Christine, thank you so much for coming on again to talk about that. And
absolutely.
Hopefully Saturday is a blast for everybody there.
Please come out. We would love to see you.
Absolutely. News is next here on AM Beaver County, followed by some Pirates talk here on a Thursday morning. Life and business go hand in hand. Getting the most out of both